Instagram Live, and I'm here today with Jen Trott to discuss, she's a personal trainer, she is a fitness instructor, a woman of many hats, but today specifically we are here, my name is Aimee Sinclair, and we're here to discuss her Strollerfit and Mamafit classes, which is really, really exciting. So welcome, Jen.
Thank you for having me, choosing me.
Yay. Thank you for taking time. I know she just finished teaching Stroller. Well, I saw Strollers and Mamafits, moms and babies coming out. So thanks so much for taking the time in your busy day. And something I wanted to start with is, tell us about your classes, Strollerfit and Mamafit, and what they look like.
Okay, well, today we just finished an indoor class because it's not so nice outside, and so when we go inside, I kind of name it Mamafit, and then when we're outside, we kind of name it Strollerfit, and we use the strollers. Strollerfit is awesome because we can have the babies kind of strapped in and distracted in the stroller, and they're not running around and crawling around and stuff, so it's pretty awesome for the moms to be able to really focus and get a really good workout. In terms of your question, what are the classes like? Well, my goal for doing these classes are really to create a place where you can come with your baby and do some fitness.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I love it because after birth, after having a baby, it can get pretty overwhelming at times. Lots of new things, new experiences, and lonely as well because partner or husband is at work all day and then you're at home with baby, so it can get kind of overwhelming. And I also create the class really to have the support and the other moms can talk together, and today it was awesome. A bunch of moms were just talking after class, and it's really nice to be able to hold that space for them to talk about like different things that is going on.
Yeah, you're building, those relationships, which are so important, especially post baby, right? We're into different hormones
and postnatal depression
Yes.
is very common. So even just for a lot of the moms, it's not really about the workout. It's just to come to class and get out, do something empowering for your body and babies. They're young, but they still can pick up on that.
Well, I think it's so fantastic that you do this because in Huntsville, I know as a personal trainer myself, a lot of the time we run into, and I hear how moms have just had children, whether it's their own or they've adopted or so forth, and trying to still find that balance where they want to do something that's social, get out of the house, have those connections, and ensure that they're still doing something for their health. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times you hear, I don't have daycare, there's no gyms with daycare, there's no. So this is really great that you offer this in our town in Huntsville. And how does a class work? Like what if I have more than one, and is there an age that I can start to come with baby and so forth? Kind of what does that look like?
Okay, so a few different questions in there. I'm going to touch on when is it best to come after you have a baby first. So as soon as you are cleared from the doctor, which typically is 6 weeks with a normal birth or 8 weeks with a cesarean birth, that's only a number though. If you're feeling good and you've gotten your doctor clearance, that's all that you need. You as long as mama is feeling good and healthy and ready to do some squats and stuff, then that's a really good marker. Awesome. Now, if there was maybe some stuff happened during the birth and it was pretty traumatic, then you want to make sure that there's not really any pain as you do some squats and stuff. And so also I deal a lot with people who go to the pelvic floor physiotherapist as well, so that's someone who I often will refer people to if they have some pain or whatever. So, but the idea is just to really have no pain,
right.
or very little pain, and even just doing the walking and doing some of the exercises low key is perfectly fine. If you really want to get started, that's fine too.
So if someone was unsure, they could contact you directly and just ask any questions if it's safe for me to come out. If there's certain limitations, could they get a note from their physician and say, can I avoid squats but do the other parts of the class, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I'll answer another question. The Mamafit is more low intensity, less cardio. We still do get cardio in there, but we are doing less cardio, more like muscle conditioning, and more core strengthening and rebuilding, and the deep core work as well. So we don't do any like crunches or anything like that. We do some plank and exercises that are healthy and good for a postnatal mama who just has to rebuild their abs again, right? And so the Strollerfit class is more of the higher intensity, but in my Strollerfit class right now, I have a lot of moms that have been seeing pelvic floor physiotherapists. So again, for these mamas, their intensity level is going to be lower. They're not going to be running. They're not going to be doing any jumps or anything like that. And as long as I know and I can kind of coach them along throughout the class and say like, hey, I'm going to tell the rest of the class do this, and then for you guys, and I'm not singling anybody out by any means, but it's really good to get to know your clients and who is at what level, so that I can properly make the class great for you.
Which is awesome, because the biggest thing is, one, you never want to center someone out, but you also don't want someone not feeling they can participate, because many of us have different limitations depending, right? So being able to find ways to work with that is important.
And sometimes in the postnatal phase of life, you can actually do more harm than good when coming back to exercise, whether if you're going too high of an intensity in exercise too soon. That can cause more harm on the body, and it could take you back way farther than what you need to. So being open with your trainer is really important. As far as what you're comfortable with, you don't have to tell me everything or whatever, but if there is some situations where jumping up and down might not be very good, or if you just don't know, something doesn't feel right, it's a good idea to just let me know or let your trainer know, so that they can kind of target the workout in the best way for you.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I know for some moms, mine are a lot older now, but I know there's a lot of things I went through when they were younger. And a couple of things that would always worry me is, I have two questions for you. Mm-hmm. What if I have two children and not just one? And secondly, I know this would come up as a mom or a person. Sometimes we don't want to bother anyone or interrupt the class, even with babies. So let's start with the first question, being ages, in regards to if you have more than one, and two being if a child is fussy and a parent's worried about having to feed or do something with baby during the class.
Okay, so for the first question, in studio, the best age for baby is probably pre-crawling. Now, with that being said, I have some babies in here today that are crawling, and they're fine. Sometimes they do get a little busy and not rowdy, but they do get busy and kind of crawling all over the place. But as mamas, we accept them anyways, of course, and just watch out. Some of the exercises, like I most likely won't do any kettlebell swings in class because I don't want anything bad to happen to any babies. But crawling, and from birth to crawling is probably a good age for the studio.
Yes.
But if you have a 2-year-old and the kid is totally fine just to sit there, like, I'm not gonna turn you away. You know your kid. If the kid is running around and crazy and causing a ruckus, then maybe this class wouldn't be the best for you. The Mamafit in studio. Maybe the Strollerfit would be a better option, because in the Strollerfit we're outside, there's lots of areas to play and run.
Which is so great,
The babies, so it doesn't matter if they're 4 weeks old or 6 weeks old or whatever, 2 years or even 4, like, it doesn't matter. If they're in a stroller, typically they're good.
Well, absolutely.
And there always is a part of the class where the moms can take out the kids from the stroller if they're a little bit older and they want to run around and stuff. So there's always a part for that.
Well, it's awesome, because what you're doing is you're empowering healthy role models, and you're doing it one parent, one child, one family at a time, and one community at a time, because we're doing it right here in Huntsville. So that's fabulous.
Yeah.
And so what I love is you can't see the full studio, but if in the studio, I mean, we've got some plants here, but I mean, like at home, you treat this like you would your own home, and if something needed to be moved or lifted, that can definitely happen, I would imagine, in this space. And there's doors and everything, so you don't have to worry about your child like leaving.
You're talking about that.
Yeah, and then there's lots of windows behind us. I have the curtains closed for the live right now, but it's bright and beautiful in here.
To touch on your other question, the second one, if a baby is fussy, that's totally fine. We are all moms and we know what it's like. So, you know, if you need to feed the baby or change a bum or nurse or whatever, play with them for a little bit, cuddle, it's totally fine. Just pick up baby. You can stay right in the room to change any diapers. If you would prefer, you can go outside. It's totally fine, like just out the door. It's totally fine, but if you are stopping your workout to tend to baby, that's totally fine. Baby's number one. All right?
That is amazing. And we're excited too, because Jen is going to take some time to show us some of the exercises that she does during class. And I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. If someone's currently pregnant, would they join this class?
They can. I do have, I have had prenatal times come into the class for the mama baby as well. If you are looking for a nice, calm, relaxing class, I probably wouldn't say come to this one because it gets pretty loud and, you know, kind of crazy at times. If you're looking for that calm, relaxed class, I do have a prenatal class in the evenings that is open, and if you are pregnant and you're saying, hey, that's me, let me know, because I do have, that's happening right now. So
that's amazing. So yeah, if you're pregnant and you're looking currently to do some exercises and stuff, definitely reach out to Jen.
A prenatal fitness class, just specific for that, yeah.
That is amazing. And
but yes, if you are interested and this time of day works for you, then absolutely you can come join the class. But again, just talking and communicating is key.
That's awesome. And so, Jen, what brought you into Strollerfit and Mamafit? What got you started?
Okay, so my own life, my own journey. So when I moved here a few years ago, I had a little one, and I started doing Strollerfit classes with my little one because I didn't want to pay for daycare for an hour to do a class, and so I just brought her along with me. And as she grew older, my ideal class was kind of leaving because she was getting into that toddler age and was busy. So kind of hit pause on that one a little bit. But once I had my, who's now going to be 3, when I was pregnant with him, I brought it back with the prenatal class. And then when he was born, I started up again with the mama baby class.
That's awesome.
That class actually took off, and I guess it was busy. It was important. People wanted that. And so since then, it's kind of been what I do. And
well, and I love that, because you took your life as it changed in different stages, as many of ours does, and you adapted and found what worked for you to be able to stay healthy and with your family, right? Again, role model, right? The biggest thing too, I know is, for me, and one of the reasons I work out is mental health, and just staying, you know, serotonin and dopamine, and keeping my more positive side up and out front at all times. And when we have little ones, that can, as you said at the beginning of this interview, it can become very overwhelming, and you do feel alone at times, and you don't want to speak baby all day as much as you love them and they're your whole world. It's nice to have different conversations and experience what other moms are going through, and have that whole, I guess, baby workout community come together.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And how do you find, what are your times of your classes? I would, just so that anyone knows with babies. And
so I've actually done a 9:30 class all the way up to 11:30. So my class right now that's going on is 11:30. I have one in Bracebridge that is at 10:30, and who knows, maybe I'll do another 9:30 one day. I don't know. It kind of just depends on where I'm at and what's going on.
And if people are looking for that, maybe they could send you a message just so that when you have it, you could have them on a list, or look for other people that might be interested in that to get that up and running.
Yeah.
Awesome. And do you, the classes typically run how long?
It's 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we're outside most of the time, unless it's not so nice, then we come in and have this studio. We're at More Than Just Art Studio. They do lots of programs and things, which is cool.
And we're 15
Menominee Street in Huntsville, and we're in More Than Just Art. So More Than Just Art is a great place. They've brought me in here, and they do lots of art programs and mindfulness, lots of different programs here as well, which is great.
Awesome. And just to touch base on a couple more things for a mom, what happens if you can't make it or you're going to be late? I know, especially as a new mom, or if you're trying to take your baby and your toddler out with you, that can sometimes run behind. What does that look like with a class?
Running a 6-week program can be pretty daunting. To try to get in the same place every single week for 6 weeks, that's kind of crazy for a mom with a little one. So the way I run my classes, I sell them as a 6-week session. When you purchase a pass, you get 3 months to actually do those classes. All right, so
that's amazing.
You're not actually, if you can't make it for 2 weeks in a row because of your baby's sick or, doctor's appointments, which happens all the time. You're not going to be missing out on that session. You get to do it after. I try to encourage you as best as I can to come every week, because that's when you're going to get the most benefits out of it, of course.
Yes.
But you do have 3 months to do the classes.
That's amazing. Yeah. So that's fabulous for anyone that has any concern about that, knowing that you do have 3 months to use those 6 visits is huge.
Yes.
Of course, as Jen states, you definitely want to try to come weekly, because staying consistent is one of your biggest benefits when it comes to mind,
Yes,
mind,
absolutely.
soul, body, right? So, but knowing you have the time just in case you do run into something is really awesome. So, thank you so much. Do you mind showing us some Mamafit exercises or Strollerfit exercises?
Yes. So we have some toys set up for some of the mom and babies.
Yay.
Or not mom, for the babies, for the calmness of the mom, so that they can get distracted. So one of the exercises really works out the core is going to be our typical bird dog exercise. Okay, so for here we have little Susie. I just made up that name right now. She doesn't actually have a name, but this is our pretend baby.
We love Susie.
So,
okay.
Baby can come right here. So typically in a class, what I do is we kind of let the babies be on their own, okay? As soon as we start picking up babies and doing different exercises, then sometimes when we put them down again to focus back on our exercise, then they start to get whiny and then they want us more. So typically during the class, I will let them be in their car seats, or we have a bumbo chair. Some other moms bring bumbo chairs and little baby seats sometimes. And we kind of let them be. We focus on ourselves first, and then towards the middle to the end, the babies might start to get a little fussy, and then when that happens, we will incorporate them more into the workout. And I'll show you some of those exercises that we would typically use.
And it's
baby and mama.
There's this whole station of toys and mats that clip together here for babies as they crawl around, so you're not left just...
And there's no screens, no iPads or anything,
no
not here. All right, so one of the exercises really good for our core is coming into our bird dog. So hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips, and we're just gonna lengthen one arm, opposite leg. This is good to interact with baby here, and then alternate. We've probably know this exercise. This is good. We want to maintain a flat back, keep those hips in line with each other as we do this. Another one is a push-up, and I'll show you one of the classes we did this morning, is a push-up in a row. So depending on where your strength is of your abs, there's a few different levels, okay? So easy level, level 1, just somebody who's very new to exercise, coming right out of their 6 to 8 week time frame after baby, is coming back into that tabletop position. We're gonna have those feet off the floor here so they don't distract us. We're gonna maintain this flat back and strong core. We're gonna lower down, maybe kiss baby on the cheek or something, lower down and do push-ups this way, okay? Maintaining that strong, those strong abs. And
Awesome.
then as we go, we can lift up. This is one of the exercises we did in class today, a push-up and a row. That's level 1. For those of have been doing exercise a little bit longer, have no signs of diastasis recti, which is a whole other idea, but we won't maybe not get into that today. But we're gonna come into a long, like straight from the knees to the top of the head. So a straight line push up. Here we go, lower down, again interacting with baby, keeping those elbows at a 45-degree angle.
That's
and then
awesome.
I forget the row here, but push up and then coming up from either side with the row. Good. Yeah, another one that we do, babies love it, is a bridge. So I'll get on my back for this.
This is
Got-
awesome. It just
got
shows a
little
couple
baby
of
Susie.
ideas, so it's perfect.
We got little baby Susie, and we're gonna bring some weights into the mix as well. So coming into a normal bridge, flat on your back, feet hip width apart, toes pointing forward, knees also in line with those hips. You can either use weights if baby is feeling happy and you don't want to bug baby, or you can sit baby right on your lap there and come into some bridges. I don't suggest doing both, baby and weights, only one or the other, okay? So if you're using weights, you're coming up into that bridge, and we just got just a basic bridge. This would be level 1. Level 2 would maybe bring that one leg straight and coming into a one-legged bridge there.
Nice.
All right? And then of course, if you have baby, you would be putting baby on your hips, just on your hips, and interacting with baby at the same time.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'll show you one more as well. Another one, good for your abs here. So laying down on the floor, keeping those knees in line. We want to actually do a pelvic tilt. So pushing the lower back into the floor, having those knees on top of those hips as best as you can. Sometimes people put baby right on their belly here, keep them nice and close, or lying them down like little Susie here. And we're holding baby here, okay? This is another option, or you can either keep baby up here holding this position, or you're gonna sit baby on your belly there, making sure that back is pressing into the floor. You can either do level 1, heel drops, just like this, keeping those knees at 90 degrees, or level 2, maybe level 3 as well, coming lower down, straightening that leg, alternating those legs, of course, but keeping that lower back pressing into the floor. And I'm out of breath because
You're
I'm
talking
talking
and doing
too
abs
much,
at the
and I
same
just
time.
did the class too, so my voice is kind of raspy from the class before.
Oh,
But,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Awesome.
Fabulous. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No
So
problem.
everyone, we're going to wrap up today's live interview with Jen. And if you have any questions, I will be tagging her. She's in my story right now. You can go and just hit on it. It'll take you right to her if you want to ask any other questions or reach out about that prenatal class and the other ones that she's got currently and the ones to come forward. You might want to find out if you can jump into these rounds or if when the next one's starting.
I usually go all the way through. I'll probably be ending at the end of July, taking August off, and then starting back up again in September.
That's amazing.
Kind of try to run all the way through with little breaks in between.
Oh, fabulous. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to either of us. And in the future, we will be meeting again. So please feel free to keep the questions coming and we'll touch base on them next time. This video will be uploaded to YouTube in the next couple of weeks so that if you know anyone that could benefit from this and needs to meet this wonderful woman, then you can send them her way. So thanks so much, Jen, and thank you to everyone.
Thank you guys.
Have a great day, everybody. Happy health.